Hi folks, we're here again.
Yes, and we're going to do this vlog to do with the River Murray. As you mostly know, we've bought a canal boat in England, but right now we're not in England, we're still in Australia. And so we thought, why don't we do another vlog and do it about one of our rivers, our big river, the big River Murray, and one of the great river schemes of the world. And so we went to quite a few spots along the River Murray near to where we live. So that was good fun.
It was good fun, yeah, I'll say.
We started off in a place called Manham, then we went to Murray Bridge, which the name says it all. Then we went to a place called Malang, then we went to the Murray mouth. So we sort of went down the river a bit, but not on a boat, just in our car. So before we really say any more, let's have a look at some of the footage that we got. First of all, when we went to Manham. So we'll hand over now to watching that live. So straight off, we're going to look at a bit of video we did on a guy called Captain Sturt, and he was an explorer back in the early 1800s, and he sailed from the east to the west, right through to the Murray mouth, from in states of Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, and then into South Australia on the River Murray Darling scheme, as it's called. So here's a bit of memorabilia, remembering what he did, which we photographed in where did we photograph it? In Manham. So let's go straight to that.
It's quite a while since we did this, so we've really got to scratch the old grey matter and try to remember what we did. It was weeks and weeks and weeks ago, and a lot's happened since then.
That's right. One thing that did happen while we were there was the ferry at Manham. They've got a ferry and goes, two ferries, one each side, alongside each other, goes all the time ferrying people, as the name implies, ferrying people across the River Murray from the town of Manham to the other side. We decided, you can go as a passenger, you don't have to go in a car, and you'll see this here. So the next little bit is the ferry at Manham. Look at the boat going over there. Look over there. Paddle boat.
Terrific, yeah. So cool to see it. Every time we come through here, we're always in a hurry. ever stop to have a look, do we? So we're coming back on an empty boat, folks. There wasn't anybody there waiting for us.
Just for us.
Just for us. How nice. The ferryman's very nice and very helpful, and obviously he loves his job. And for those folk in England, we've got ducks here on the river too. Look at them. Heaps of them.
Water birds over there.
All sorts of water birds. Yeah.
Seagulls.
Yeah.
Even though we know we're near the sea.
Now that particular water bird looks like the New Zealand pakeko, but it isn't. It's obviously just a
I
cousin.
think they call it a waterfowl here or something.
Oh, here we are. Time to go and have a nice picnic lunch up on the grass somewhere.
In 1956, there was a massive flood to such height it's hard to imagine. Like the local pub had the whole ground floor was flooded, and all the towns and so on. So it was well known as the 1956 flood, and there's some stuff here we filmed to do with that.
That was good.
Any other comment?
Not greatly.
No, we weren't there, but it was a huge thing at that time. By the way, it doesn't flood anymore. They put in barrages, whatever they call them, and a little sort of, they now control the River Murray. But usually there's not enough water to flood because everybody has a bit of a go at the River Murray, all the orange groves and
The cotton farmers particularly, and the rice farmers.
and all the towns.
Yeah.
By the time it gets to South Australia, there's not a lot of water left. Actually, the River Murray is like a big inland lake these days.
Well, at Murray Bridge we went to see the bunyip, and I was quite excited about it. I thought it would do a wonderful performance for the camera, and that you would hear this glorious scream, but do you know what?
More like a roar.
Roar, yeah. The camera wouldn't record it. It must have gone off the
It somehow or other affected the camera. So you will see the bunyip come up and down out of the water at about 10 times the normal speed. You won't hear anything. It was all over in about 4 seconds. But anyhow, we have got it in there, and we have a look at the River Murray at the big town of Murray Bridge.
That's a bit boring.
So we have left Murray Bridge and headed towards the Murray mouth. Along the way though, we went past what's called the floodplain alongside the River Murray. Very rarely used as a floodplain anymore, but there's loads of dairies all the way along. Good dairy cows.
Irrigation is a great place
Yeah,
for
so
cows.
it's a bit of a view of that as we go along.
Yeah. we'll take you down to Lake Alexandrina to see what we filmed down there. Lake Alexandrina was named on the 7th of February 1830 by Captain Charles Sturt.
The explorer.
Yeah, and it was named after Queen Victoria. And her second name is Alexandrina, or was Alexandrina.
A little bit of trivia. So right now, though, let's go and see the footage we did on Lake Alexandrina.
Hello folks, here we are at a little place called Malang on Lake Alexandrina. Now if you look at the lake and the sky, they're about the same colour. Now the reason for this is that there is either a very big dust storm blowing through or it's smoke from a bushfire. We're not sure which at the moment.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's dust.
You reckon it's dust? I smelt smoke a moment ago. It might have been somebody's barbecue. But anyway, the Murray River flows into Lake Alexandrina, and in the olden days when they brought the paddle steamers with the wool down here on the way to Goolwa, the port of Goolwa, they would actually have to sail through this lake, which is very shallow, and when it got windy it was exceedingly dangerous because the boats could actually bottom, and I guess if we did a little look at the history we'd find there was a few sad stories of some of the paddle steamers.
Now the other thing over here to the right is two more black swans. We filmed some swans before, and 3 pelicans.
Yes.
So they're all having a nice time down here at Malang.
The wonderful bird is the pelican. His beak can hold more than his belly can. That's what my dad taught me.
It sounds very edifying. We'll finish here in what's known as the Murray Mouth, the mouth of the river. And this massive river scheme, we've got River Murray, the Darling, Murrumbidgee, the Macquarie, huge amount of rivers that all end up being the River Murray. All the waters come right down the eastern side of Australia to the southern side, and it comes out right here in South Australia, and as you're going to see, we went down and filmed that. So I think that's enough for rivers. All of this is in frustration that we can't yet get on our canal boat, but I'll give you a little hint, it's not far off. Well, here we are at the Murray Mouth. Come all the way from Mannum to Murray Bridge to other towns like Malang, and it kept coming down along the Murray. This is where the Murray eventually breaks through. A lot of rivers run into the Murray, the Murrumbidgee, the Lachlan, the Darling, you can go on and on and on. Macquarie River. So it's a mighty river scheme, the River Murray, and this here in South Australia is where it finally tries to break through to the ocean, which you can just see the white waves in the distance. But in actual fact, sometimes, like that machine in the middle would be a dredging machine, another one over here to dredge it, to try to let the water out. It's like a big inland lake. Everything feeds off the Murray these days. The city of Adelaide is very dependent on the water from this mighty river.
And off to the left there, we have what's called the Coorong.
Down there.
Which is a shallow water system. It's great for birds, and it goes for a couple of hundred kilometres down along the coast. And
a lot of people would have seen the film Storm Boy.
Oh, yes.
About the boy with the little pelican. Well, it's just down there where the film was made and where the little boy theoretically was living. Storm Boy by Tilly. Is it Tilly?
No. Poor farmers up north have ploughed their land in hope, and this is their topsoil blowing away.
So we'll finish off by saying soon we'll be on the English canal system. Very soon. That's a hint. Very soon. Bye-bye.
Toodaloo, folks.